Good evening. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting tonight and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Welcome to Mark Crowley's The Boys in the Band. This is a stage reading, so actors will be carrying their scripts with them, but I'm quite sure that you'll overlook that very quickly as soon as you get involved in the story. It's 1968. We are in a New York apartment. Over there is the front door to a very simple walk-up. The lounge room is set up, ready for a party. Tiny kitchen in the corner, and over there, a bedroom and bathroom. I'm sure you will enjoy tonight's performance, and please stay later for a Q&A if you would like to. Welcome to The Boys in the Band.
You're a day and a half early.
The doctor cancelled.
Cancelled? How'd you get inside?
The street door was open.
Would you like a drink?
Not until I've had my shower. I want something to try and work out today. I want to relax and enjoy something.
You were in a blue funk because of the doctor.
Christ, I was depressed long before I got there.
Why did the prick cancel?
Oh, a virus or something. He looked awful.
Well, this will pick you up. I went shopping today and bought you all kinds of goodies. Sandalwood soap.
Oh, I feel better already.
Your very own toothbrush, because I'm sick to death of you using mine.
How do you think I feel?
You've had worse things in your mouth. And also for you, something called control. Notice nowhere is it called hairspray, just simply control. And the words for men are written about 37 times all over the goddamn can.
It's called Butch Assurance.
Well, it's still hairspray, no matter if they call it balls. It's all going in the very own shelf, which is to be labelled Donald's Saturday Night Douche Kit. By the way, are you spending the night?
No, I'm driving back. I still get very itchy when I'm in this town too long.
I'll never know how you can tank up on martinis and make it back to the Hamptons in one piece.
Believe me, it's easier than getting here. Ever had an anxiety attack at 60 miles an hour?
Why didn't the prick call you and cancel? Suppose you'd driven all the way for nothing.
Why do you keep calling him a prick?
Who ever heard of an analyst having a session with a patient for 2 hours on a Saturday evening?
He simply prefers to take Mondays off.
Works late on Saturdays and takes Mondays off. What is he, a psychiatrist or a hairdresser?
Actually, he's both. He combs my hair and shrinks my head. Besides, I had to come into town for a birthday party anyway, right?
You had to remind me. If there's one thing I'm not ready for, it's 5 screaming queens singing Happy Birthday.
Who's coming?
They're really all Harold's friends. It's his birthday and I want everything to be just the way he'd want it. I don't want to have to listen to him kvetch about how nobody ever does anything for anybody but themselves. Himself. I think you know everybody anyway. They're the same old tired fairies you've seen around since the day one. Actually, there'll be 7 counting Harold and you and me.
Are you calling me a screaming queen or a tired fairy?
Oh, I beg your pardon. 6 tired screaming fairy queens and 1 anxious queer.
Don't think Harold will mind my being here, do you?
If she doesn't like it, she can twirl on it. Listen, I'll be out of your way in just a second. I've only got one more thing to do.
Oh, surgery, so early in the evening.
Sant, that's French with the cedilla. I've got to comb my hair for the 37th time. Hair. That's singular. My hair, without exaggeration, is clearly falling on the floor. And fast, baby.
You're totally paranoid. You've got plenty of hair.
What you see before you is a masterpiece of deception. My hairline starts about here. All this is just tortured forward.
Well, I hope for your sake, no strong wind comes up.
If one does, I'll be in terrible trouble. I'll then have a bald head and shoulder-length fringe. Not good, huh?
It's not the greatest.
It's called getting old. Well, one thing you have to say for masturbation, you certainly don't have to look your best. What are you depressed about? I mean, other than the usual everything.
I really don't want to get into it.
Well, if you're not going to tell me, how can we have a conversation in depth? A warm, rewarding, meaningful friendship.
Up yours.
My Captain Butler, how you talk.
It's just that today I finally realised I was born to be a failure. I was groomed for it. Naturally, it goes all the way back to Evelyn and Walt.
Christ, how sick analysts must get of hearing how Mummy and Daddy made their darling into a fairy.
It's beyond just that now. Today I finally began to see how some of the other pieces of the puzzle relate to them. Like why I never finished anything I started in my life, my neurotic compulsion to not succeed.
Oh, Donald, you're so serious tonight. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. What's more boring than a queen doing a Judy Garland imitation?
Queen doing a Bette Davis imitation.
Meanwhile, back at the Evelyn and Walt syndrome.
I've realised that it was when I failed that Evelyn loved me the most because it displeased Walt, who wanted perfection, and I began to fail on purpose to get love. Failure is the only thing with which I feel at home because it's what I was taught at home.
Killer whales is what they are. Killer whales.
Where did you get that sweater?
From this little shop on the right bank called Hermes.
I work my ass off for $45 lousy dollars a week scrubbing floors, and you waltz around throwing cashmere sweaters on them.
The one on the bedroom floor is the
Oh, I beg your pardon.
You could get a job doing something else. Nobody holds a gun to your head to be a charwoman. That is to say, how you say your neuroses.
Gee, and I thought it's why I was born.
Besides, just because I wear expensive clothes doesn't necessarily mean they're paid for.
That is how you say your neuroses.
I'm a spoiled brat, so what do I know about being mature? The only thing mature means to me is fit to mature.
I can understand people having an affinity for the stage, but movies are such garbage. Who can take them seriously?
Well, I'm sorry if your sense of art is offended. Odd as it may seem, there wasn't any Schubert Theatre in Hot Coffee, Mississippi.
However, thanks to the silver screen, your neurosis has got style. It takes a certain flair to squander one's unemployment check at Jill Allen's.
What's so snappy about being over heels in debt? The only thing smart about it is the ingenious way I dodge the bill collectors.
Yeah, come to think of it, you're the type who gives faggots a bad name.
Oh. And you, Donald, you are a credit to the homosexual, a reliable, hard-working, floor-scrubbing, bill-paying fag who don't owe nothing to nobody.
I am a model fairy.
You think it's just nifty how I've always flitted from Beverly Hills to Rome, to Acapulco, to Amsterdam, picking up a lot of one-night stands and a lot of custom-made duds along the trail. But I'm here to tell you that the only place in all those miles, the only place I've ever been happy was on the goddamn plane. Run, charge, run, buy, borrow, make, spend, run, squander, beg, run, waste, waste, waste. And why? And why? Vinny, applause. There's nothing quite as good as feeling sorry for yourself, is there?
Nothing.
I adore cheap sentiment. Okay, I'm taking orders for drinks. What will it be?
An extra dry beefeater martini on the rocks with a twist.
Coming up. Backstage New Moon. Alan, my God, I don't believe it. How are you? Where are you? In town? Great. When'd you get in? Is Bran with you? Oh, what? No, I'm tied up tonight. No, tonight's no good for me. You mean now? Well, Alan, old boy, it's a friend's birthday and I'm having a few people. No, you wouldn't exactly call it a birthday party. Well, yes, actually, I think you would. I mean, what else could you call it? A wedding, maybe? I'm sorry, I can't ask you to join us, but, well, kiddo, it just wouldn't work out. No, it's not place cards or anything, it's just that, well, I'd hate to just see you for 10 minutes and... Alan, what's the matter? Are you crying? Oh, Alan, what's wrong? Alan, listen, come on over. No, it's perfectly all right. Well, just hurry up. I mean, come on by, have a drink, okay? Alan, are you all right? Okay. Yeah. Same old address. Yeah, bye.
Well, am I stunning?
You're absolutely stunning. You look like shit, but I'm absolutely stunned.
Your grapes are, how you say, sour.
You won't believe what just happened.
Where's my drink?
I didn't make it. My old roommate from Georgetown just called.
No, Alan, what's his name?
McCarthy. He's up here from Washington on business or something. And he's on his way over here.
Well, I do hope he knows the lyrics to Happy Birthday.
Listen, asshole, what am I going to do? He's straight and square city. I mean, he's really very proper, awfully good family.
Well, that's so important.
I mean, they look down on people in the theatre. So what do you think he'll feel about this freak show I've got booked for dinner?
Christ, is that good?
Do you want some crack?
Not just yet. Why did you invite him over?
He invited himself. He said he had to see me tonight. Immediately. He absolutely lost his spring on the phone. He started crying. And that's not his style at all. I mean, he's so pulled together he wouldn't show any emotion if he were in a plane crash. What am I going to do?
Are you suddenly ashamed of your friends?
Donald, you are the only person I know of whom I'm truly ashamed. Some people do have different standards from yours and mine, you know. And if we don't acknowledge them, we're just as narrow-minded and backward as we think they are.
You know what you are, Michael? You're a real person.
Thank you and fuck you.
How could you have ever been friends with a bore like that?
Believe it or not, there was a time in my life when I didn't go around announcing I was a faggot.
That must have been before speech replaced sign language.
Don't give me any static on that score. I didn't come out until I left college.
It seems to me the first time we tripped, we met in a gay bar on 3rd Avenue during your junior year.
Can't.
Oh, I thought you'd never say it.
Sure you don't want any cracked crap?
Not just yet, if you don't mind. Do you want some more club soda?
What?
There's nothing but club soda in that glass. I've been watching you for several Saturdays now, and you've actually stopped drinking, haven't you?
And smoking too.
And smoking too. How long's it been?
5 weeks.
Good for you. That's amazing.
I thank God.
It is amazing for you.
Oh, God is dead.
Yes, thank God. I could always tell when you were getting high, one way.
I get hostile.
So what made you stop? The analyst?
He certainly had a lot to do with it. Mainly, I just didn't think I could survive another hangover. That's all. I don't think I could get through the morning after ick attack.
Morning after what?
Icks. Anxiety. Guilt. Unfathomable guilt. Either real or imagined. From that split second your eyes pop open and you say, oh my God, what did I do last night? And zap. Total recall.
Tell me about it.
And then that struggle to live till lunch when you have a double Bloody Mary. That is if you've waited until lunch. And then you're half pissed again and useless for the rest of the afternoon. And the only sure cure is to go to bed for about 37 hours. But whoever does that? Instead, you hang on till cocktail time, and by then, you're ready for what the night holds, which hopefully is another party where the whole goddamn cycle starts over. Well, I've been on that merry-go-round long enough, and I either had to get off or die of centrifugal force.
Joe College has finally arrived.
Suddenly I have such an ache. Listen, Donald.
Michael, don't give me any lecture on acceptable social behaviour. I promise to sit with my legs spread wide apart and keep my voice in a deep register.
Donald, you are a real card-carrying cunt.
All right, this is a raid. Everybody's under arrest. Hello! Oh, hello, darling. Coddy casserole. Oh, Mary, don't ask.
Hello, Emery. Put it in the kitchen. kitchen.
Who is this exotic woman over here?
Hi, Hank, Larry.
Hi.
Oh, oh my dear, I thought you'd perished. Where have you been hiding those classically chiseled features?
I don't live in the city anymore.
Here, I'll take those. Where's yours, Emery?
Oh, it's arriving later.
Larry? Larry!
What?
Give your gift to Michael.
Oh, here. Louder, so my mother in Philadelphia can hear you.
Well, you were just standing there in a trance.
You know each other, don't you?
Sure. Nice to see you. Hi.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Oh, I thought you'd met.
Well,
We haven't exactly met, but we've... Hi.
hi.
But you've what?
Seen each other before.
Oh, well, that sounds murky.
You've never met. You've never met, but you've seen each other.
What was wrong with the way I said it?
When?
I think they're going to have their first fight.
The first one since we got out of the taxi.
Where'd you find this trash?
Oh, downstairs, leaning against a lamppost.
With an orchid behind my ear and big wet lips painted over the lip line.
Just like Maria Montez.
Oh, please.
Oh, what have you got against Maria? She was a good woman.
Now, listen, everybody, this old college friend of mine is in town and he's stopping by for a fast drink on his way to dinner somewhere. But listen, he's straight.
Straight? If it's the one I met, he's about as straight as the yellow brick road.
No, you meant Justin Stewart.
I don't remember anybody named Justin Stewart.
Of course you don't, dope. I met him.
Well, this is someone else.
Alan McCarthy, a very close total stranger.
It's not that I care what he would think of me, really. It's just that he's not ready for it. And he never will be. You understand that, don't you?
Oh, sure.
You honestly think he doesn't know about you?
If there's the slightest suspicion, he's never let on one bit.
What's he had, a lobotomy?
I was super careful when I was in college, and I still am whenever I see him. I don't know why, but I am.
Tilt.
You may think it was a crock of shit, Donald, but to him, I'm sure we were close friends. The closest. To pop that balloon now just wouldn't be fair to him. And if that's phony of me, Donald, then that's phony of me and make something of it.
Oh, I pass.
Well, even you have to admit it's much simpler to deal with the world according to its rules, and then go right ahead and do what you damn well please. You do understand that, don't you?
Well, now that you've put it in layman's terms.
I was just like Alan when I was in college, very large in the dating department, wore nothing but those constipated Ivy League clothes and those 10-pound quarter-band shoes. No offence.
Quite alright.
I butched it up quite a bit, and I didn't think I was lying to myself. I really thought I was straight.
Who do you have to fuck to get a drink around here?
Oh, well, you lied somewhere. Or I thought I was straight. I know I didn't come out till after I graduated.
No, what about all those weekends up from school?
I still wasn't out. I was still in the Christ was I drunk last night syndrome.
The what?
The Christ I was drunk last night syndrome. You know, when you made it with some guy in school and the next day when you had to face each other, there was always a lot of shit-kicking crap about, man, was I drunk last night? Christ, I don't remember a thing.
You were just guilty because you were Catholic, that's all.
That's not true. The Christ was I drunk last night syndrome knows no religion. It has to do with immaturity. Although, I will admit there's a high percentage of it among Mormons. We all somehow managed to justify our actions in those days. I later found out that even Justin Stewart, my closest friend,
Oh, other than Alan McCarthy.
was doing the same thing, only Justin was going to Boston on weekends.
Sound familiar?
You see, in the Christ I was drunk last night syndrome, you really are drunk. That part of it's true. It's just that you also do remember everything. Oh God, I used to have to get loaded to go into a gay bar.
Well, times certainly have changed.
They have. Lately I've gotten to despise bars. Everybody just standing around and standing around. It's like one eternal intermission.
Sound familiar?
Oh, I can't stand the bars either. All that cat and mouse business. You hang around, staring at each other all night and wind up going home alone.
And pissed.
A lot of guys have to get loaded to have sex. So I've been told.
If you remember, Donald, the first time we made it, I was so drunk I could hardly stand up.
You were so drunk you could hardly get it up.
Christ, I was so drunk I don't remember a thing.
Bullshit. You remember.
Just friends, lovers in a war.
Oh, you may as well be. Everybody thinks you are anyway.
But we never were, really.
We didn't have time to be. We got to know each other too quick. Oh, Jesus. It's Alan. Now, please, everybody, do me a favour and cool it for a few minutes. He's here.
Anything for assist, Mary?
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Emery. No camping.
Think the Johnson win the pennant this year?
Oh, fucking A, Matt.
Oh, it's only another queen! Oh!
And it ain't the red one either.
It's the Queen of Spades.
Is the downstairs door open?
It was, but I closed it.
Good. I'll take those. You can put your presents with the others.
Hi, Larry.
Oh, Christ of the Andes, don't will you bartend, please?
Hi, Bernard.
Hello, Alan?
Hi, Bernadette. Anybody ever tell you you look divine in a hammock surrounded by louvres and ceiling fans and lots of lush tropical ferns?
You are such a fag. You take the cake.
Oh, what about the cake? Whose job was that?
Mine, I ordered one to be delivered.
Oh, and how many candles did you say to put on it? 80?
Oh, what? Wait a minute. There's too much noise. Let me go to another phone.
Oh, Michael, did the cake come?
No.
What's up?
Do I know?
Jesus, I better call. Okay, if I use the private line.
Sure. Ooh. Listen, everybody, there's some cracked crab there. Help yourself.
Is everybody ready for a drink?
Yeah.
Ooh, ready? I'll be your topless cocktail waitress. Woo!
Please spare society for sagging tits.
Ooh. Oh. What, are you having kids?
Yes, Alan.
Vodka and tonic. Could I have the number for the Marseille Bakery in Manhattan?
A bon ton and
Is there
a...
any beer?
beer? Who drinks beer before dinner?
Beer drinkers.
Oh, that's telling you.
No, Alan, don't be silly. What's there to apologise for?
Truck drivers do. Or wallpaperers. Not school teachers, they have sherry.
This one has beer.
Well, maybe school teachers in public schools. How can a sensitive artist like you live with an insensitive bull like that?
I can't.
Alan, don't be ridiculous.
Thanks.
What are you having, Emery?
A big lady?
Oh, a vodka martini on the rocks, please.
They don't answer. Let's just hope.
Lunch tomorrow will be great. 1 o'clock, the Oak Room at the Plaza, okay? Fine.
Donald, read any libraries lately?
1 or 3. I did the complete works of Doris Lessing this week. I've been depressed.
Alan, forget it, will you? Right, bye.
You must not work on the lending desk anymore.
Oh, I'm still there every day.
Since I moved, I only come in on Saturday evenings.
Oh, looks like you stock up for the week. Are you kidding? That lasted 2 days.
It would last me 2 years. I still haven't finished Atlas Shrugged, which I started in 1912.
Well, it's not coming.
It's just as well now.
Some people eat, some people drink, some people take dope.
I read.
And read, and read, and read. It's a wonder your eyes don't turn back in your head at the sight of a dust jacket.
Well, at least he's a constructive escapist.
Yeah, what do? Take planes? No, I don't do that anymore because I don't have the money to do that. I go to the baths. That's about it.
I'm about to do both. I'm flying to the West Coast.
You still have that act with the donkey, Tijuana?
I'm going to San Francisco on a well-earned vacation.
No shopping?
Oh, I'll look for a few things for a couple of clients, but I've been so busy lately, I really couldn't care less if I never saw another piece of fabric or another stick of furniture as long as I live. I'm going to the club baths, and I'm not out until they announce the departure of TWA 1 week later.
You'll never learn to stay out of the baths, will you? Last time, Emily was taking the vapors. This big hairy number told him. Emery said, I'm just resting. And the big hairy number said, I'm just resting. It was the wise.
You have to tell everything, don't you? Oh, thanks, Sonny. You live with your parents?
Yeah, but it's alright. They're gay. What happened to Alan?
Oh, he suddenly got terrible leaks about having broken down on the phone. Kept apologising over and over. Did a big about face and reverted to the old Alan right before my very eyes.
Is.
is, well, the cracked crab obviously did not work out.
Just put that down if you don't want your hands slapped. I was about to have some.
This is really very good. I don't know why everyone has such an aversion to it.
Sometimes you remind me of the Chinese water torture. No, I take that back. Sometimes you remind me of the relentless Chinese water torture.
Bitch.
Yeah, baby, let's hear that song.
Oh, a drum beat and their eyes sparkle like Cartier's.
I wonder where Harold is.
Yeah, where is the frozen fruit? Oh, she used to be the Sonia Henny of the Porsche circuit.
Your mother could see you now. She'd have a stroke.
Oh, got a camera on you?
Oh, my God, it's Lily Law. Everybody 3 feet apart.
Show me Harold now.
No, it's the delivery boy from the bakery.
Thank God.
Oh, ask him if he's got any hot cross buns.
Come on, Emery, knock it off.
Oh.
You can take her anywhere but out.
You remind me of an old handmade school teacher.
You remind me of the chicken wing.
I'm sure you meant that as a compliment.
Thank you, good night.
Hey, Bernard, you remember that thing we used to do on Fire Island?
I wasn't so far back. I think I've forgotten.
Oh, I remember. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, chop, chop, chop. 3, 4, chop, chop, chop. 1, 2, chop, chop, chop. 3, 4, chop. Oh, and then, oh,
Everybody's on the jury after croquettes. I thought you said you weren't coming.
Well, I'm sorry.
Emery was just showing us his silly little dance.
Well, I was in a phone booth just around the corner and I walked past and your downstairs door was open and...
This is Emery. Everybody, this is Alan McCarthy. Hank.
Hi.
Larry. Bernard.
Hello.
Donald. Would you like a drink?
Thanks. No, I can't stay long, really.
Well, you're here now, so stay. What would you like? You'll have to settle for gin or scotch or vodka.
Or beer.
Scotch, please.
I'll get it.
Because I'm the only beer drinker.
Whose birthday was it?
Harold's.
Harold?
He's not here yet.
oh, she's never been on time.
He's never been on time.
Alan's from Washington. We went to college together. Georgetown.
Wow, isn't that fascinating?
If that's too strong, I'll put some water in it.
It'll be fine, thanks.
Are you in government?
No, I'm a lawyer. What do you do?
I teach school.
Oh, I would have taken you for an athlete of some sort. You look like you might play sport of some sort.
Yeah, well, I'm no professional, but I was in the basketball team in college. Played quite a bit of tennis.
Oh, I play tennis too.
Oh, great game.
Yes. Great. What do you teach?
Math.
Math.
Yes.
Math. Well,
Ooh, kind of makes me want to rush out and buy a slide rule, doesn't it?
Emery, I'm going to need some help with dinner. And you're elected. Come on.
Oh, I'm always elected.
You are a natural born domestic.
Oh, said the Bollywood queen. You come on too. You can fan me while I make the salad dressing.
Right this way, Emery. You son of a bitch.
What the hell do you want from me?
Shall we all sit down?
sure.
Hi.
Hi.
I really feel terrible barging in on you fellows like this.
Have you been?
Fine.
Oh,
Thanks.
that's okay.
And you?
Oh, just fine.
You're married.
What?
I see you're married.
Oh,
Yes, Hank's married.
Do you have any kids?
yes, a boy 9 and a girl 7. You should see my boy play tennis. Afraid he puts his dad to shame.
Better get some ice.
I have 2 kids too, both girls.
Great.
How are the girls, Alan?
Oh, they're just sensational. They're really something, those kids. God, I'm nuts about them.
How long have you been married?
9 years. Can you believe it, Mickey?
No.
Mickey used to go with my wife when we were all in school.
Can you believe that?
You live in the city?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
I'm in the process of getting a divorce, you see. Larry and I are roommates.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean,
I understand you.
I think I'd like another drink, if I may.
Oh, of course, what was it?
I'll do it, if I may. What was that?
Oh, excuse me, testy temperament in the kitchen.
Larry, where do you know that guy from?
What guy?
That guy?
I don't know. Around. The bars.
Can I help you, Alan?
I can't seem to find the scotch.
You've got it in your hand.
Oh, of course. How stupid of me.
Why don't you let me do that?
Thanks.
Was it water or soda?
Just make it straight. Over ice.
You see, Alan, I told you it wasn't a good time to talk, but we...
It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna finish this and then go.
Where can Harold be?
Oh, he's always late. You know how neurotic he is about going out in public. It takes him hours to get ready.
Now, why is that?
Why is what?
Why does Harold spend hours getting ready before he can go out?
Oh, because she's a sick lady, that's why.
Alan, I was about to say we can go upstairs and
Oh,
talk.
it really doesn't matter.
Come on, bring your drink.
I've finished it.
Well, make another and bring it upstairs.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
Excuse me, we'll be down in a minute.
Oh, he'll still be here.
Go ahead, Alan. I'll be right there.
What was that supposed to mean?
What was what supposed
Oh,
to?
you know.
You want another beer?
No. You're jealous, aren't you?
I'm Larry. You're jealous. Hey, Donald. Where you been hanging out these days? Haven't seen you in a long time.
This is a marvellous apartment.
It's too expensive. I work to pay the rent.
What are you doing these days?
Nothing.
Aren't you writing anymore?
I haven't looked at a typewriter since I told the very, very wonderful, very, very marvellous screenplay which never got produced.
That's right. The last time I saw you were on your way to California, or was it Europe?
Hollywood. Which is not in Europe, nor does it have anything whatsoever to do with California.
I've never been there, but I would imagine it's awful. Everyone must be terrible at cheating.
No, not everyone. Alan, I want to try to explain the scene.
What's there to explain? Sometimes you can't invite everybody to every party. Some people take it personally, but I am not one of them. I should apologise for inviting myself.
That's not exactly what I meant.
Your friends all seem like nice guys. That Hank is really a very attractive fellow.
Yes, he is.
We have a lot in common. What's his roommate's name?
Larry.
What does he do?
He's a commercial artist.
I like Donald too. The only one I didn't care too much for was, what's his name? Emery?
Yes, Emily.
I just can't stand that kind of talk. It just grates on me.
What kind of talk, Alan?
Oh, you know, his brand of humour, I guess.
He can be really quite funny sometimes.
I suppose so. If you find that sort of thing amusing. He just seems like such a goddamn little pansy. I'm sorry I said that. I didn't mean to say that. That's such an awful thing to say about anyone. But you know what I mean, Michael. He is effeminate.
He's a bit.
A bit? He's like a butterfly in heat. I mean, there's no wonder he was trying to teach you all to dance. Probably wanted to dance with you. Oh, come on, man. You know me. You know how I feel about it. You know how I feel about it. Your private life is your own affair.
No, I don't know that about you.
I could care less what people do, as long as they don't do it in public, or try to force their ways on the whole damn world.
Alan, what was it you were crying about on the telephone?
I feel like such a fool about that. I could shoot myself for letting myself act that way. I'm so embarrassed I could die.
Good, Alan, if you were genuinely upset, that's nothing to be embarrassed about.
All I can say is please accept my apology for making such an ass of myself.
You must have been upset or you wouldn't have said you were and that you wanted to see me. Had to see me and had to talk to me.
Can you forget it? Just pretend it never happened. I know I have.
Is something wrong between you and Fran?
Listen, I've really got to go.
Why are you in here?
I'm dreadfully late for this dinner.
Whose dinner? Where are you going?
Is this the loop?
Yes.
Excuse me.
What's going on in here? Oh, Mary, don't ask.
Oh, hey, why don't you come and join us?
That's an interesting suggestion. Whose idea was that?
Mine?
He means in a conversation.
Where's the rest of the wine glasses?
I am working as fast as I can.
They have to be told everything. Can't let them out of your sight.
I thought maybe you were abiding by the agreement.
We have no agreement.
We did.
You did. I never agreed to anything.
To your health.
Up yours.
Up my health?
Where's the gent?
In the gents' room. If you can all hang on 5 more minutes, he's about to leave.
Oh, well, at last.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Harold, happy birthday to you.
Who the hell are you?
She's Harold's present from me, and she's early. And that's not even Harold, you idiot.
You said whoever answered the door.
But not until midnight. He's supposed to be a midnight cowboy.
Oh, he is a midnight cowboy.
He looks right out of the chorus of a bus and truck Oklahoma.
Not until midnight, and you're supposed to sing to the right person, for Christ's sake. I told you, Harold has very tight, black, curly hair. This number's practically bald.
Thank you and fuck you.
It's a good thing I didn't open the door.
Not that black.
I forgot. Besides, I wanted to get to the bars before midnight.
Oh, he's a class act all the way around.
What do you mean, get to the bars? Sweetie, I paid for you for the whole night, remember?
I hurt my back doing my exercises. And I wanted to get to bed early tonight.
Are you ready for this one?
Oh, that's too bad. What happened?
I lost my grip doing my chin-ups and I fell on my heels and twisted my back.
You shouldn't wear heels when you do chin-ups.
I shouldn't do chin-ups. I've got a weak grip to begin with.
A weak grip? In my day, it used to be called a limp wrist.
Who can remember that far back?
Who was it that always used to say, you show me Oscar Wilde in the cowboy suit and I'll show you a gay caballero?
I don't know. Who was it that always used to say that?
What does your card say?
Yeah, read it.
Dear Harold, bang bang, you're alive, but roll over and play dead. Happy birthday, Emery!
Sheer poetry, mate.
And in your usual good taste.
Yes, so conservative of you to resist a sign in Times Square.
Oh, cheese it. Here comes the socialite nun.
Oh, God damn it, Emery.
Well, I'm off. Thanks, Michael, for the drink.
You're entirely welcome, Alan. See you tomorrow?
No, I think I'm going to be awfully busy. I may even go back to Washington.
Got a heavy date in Lafayette Square.
What?
Emery.
Forget it.
Are you Harold?
No, he's not Harold. He's for Harold.
Goodbye, Hank. It was nice to meet you.
Oh,
Yeah.
same here.
If you're ever in Washington, I'd like for you to meet my wife.
Oh, that'd be fun, wouldn't it, Hank?
Yeah, I'd love to meet him. Oh, her. I have such a problem with pronouns.
How many S's are there in the word pronoun?
How would you like to kiss my ass? That's got 2 more S's in it.
How would you like to blow me?
What's the matter with your wife? She got lockjaw?
Faggot!
Stop! Help me! Barney, he's doing it! Help me! Oh God, he's broken my nose! I'm bleeding to death!
Somebody get some ice. And a cloth.
Oh, my face! Oh.
You busted your lip, that's all. We'll be alright.
Would you mind waiting over here with the rest of the presents? Well, Harold, happy birthday. You're just in time for the floor show, which as you can see is on the floor. Hey, this is Harold.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Harold. Happy birthday to you.
Mwah.
What's so fucking funny?
Life's a goddamn laugh riot. You remember life?
You're stoned.
Happy birthday, Harold.
You're stoned and you're late. You were supposed to arrive at this location at approximately 8:30-9 o'clock.
What I am, Michael, is a 32-year-old, ugly, pockmarked Jew, fairy. And if it takes me a while to pull myself together, and if I smoke a little grass before I can get up the nerve to show this face to the world, it's nobody's goddamn business but my own. And how are you this evening?
Happy birthday, Hallie.
What happened to you?
Oh, don't ask.
Your lips are turning blue. You look like you've been rimming a snowman.
That piss elegant coos hit me.
And who is she? Who was she? Who does she hope to be?
Who knows? Who cares?
His name is Alan McCarthy.
Not the famous college chum.
Do a figure eight on that.
And in black tie too. Is this your surprise, Michael?
Oh, I think Alan is the one who got the surprise.
And if you'll notice, he's absolutely speechless.
I hope she's in shock. She's a beast.
Is it his birthday too?
That's your surprise.
Speaking of beasts.
From me to you, darling. How do you like it?
Oh, I suppose he has an interesting face. And body. But it turns me right off, because he can't talk intelligently about art.
Yeah, ain't it a shame?
And I could never love anyone like that.
Never. Who could?
I could. You could. That's who could. Oh, Mary, he's absolutely good.
She may be dumb, but she's all yours.
In affairs of the heart, there are no rules. I think my present is a super surprise. I'm so thrilled to get it. I'd kiss you, but I don't want to get blood all over me.
Oh, look at my sweater!
Wait till you see your face.
Come on, Emery. It's cleaning up. Happy birthday, Al.
Thanks, love.
My sweater is ruined!
Take one of mine in the bedroom.
Oh, the one on the floor is Vicuna.
You feel better after a birthday face?
Just another birthday party with the folks.
Here's a cold bottle of Bouillon Frise. I bought it especially for you, kiddo.
Oh, pussycat, all is forgiven. You can stay. No, you can stay, but not all is forgiven. Cheers.
I didn't want it this way, Harry.
Who asked Mr. Wright to my birthday?
There are no accidents.
And who invited him?
Guilty again. When I make problems for myself, I go the whole route.
You've always got to have your crutch, haven't you, Michael?
I'm not leaving.
Nobody ever thinks completely of somebody else. They always please themselves. They always cheat. If only a little bit.
Why is he sitting there with his hands over his ears?
I think he's got an ick.
Can I get you a drink?
How can he hear you, dummy, with his hands over his ears?
Oh, he can hear every word. In fact, he wouldn't miss it if it would kill him. What did I tell you?
I feel sick. I think I'm going to throw up.
Oh, say that again, and I won't have to take my appetite depressant.
Hey,
Easy does it, one step at a time.
Feel better?
Oh, Mary, what would I do without you? Oh, I am not ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille, nor will I be for the next 2 weeks.
I'm definitely going to throw up.
Oh, God, he's after me again!
He's sick. Yeah, sick in the head. Here, Emery. Put this on.
Oh, Mary, take me home. My nerves can't stand any more of this tonight.
Turning on. Anybody care to join me?
Many thanks, no.
No, thank you.
How about you, Tess?
Yeah.
Michael, I left the casserole in the oven. You can take it out any time.
You're not going.
I couldn't eat now anyway.
I said you're not going.
I'm absolutely ravenous. I'm going to eat until I have a fat attack.
I said you're not going.
I'm having a cocktail this evening, are we? In my honour?
It's your favourite dinner, Hallie. I made it myself.
Who fixed the casserole?
Well, I made the sauce.
Well, I made the salad.
Girls, please.
Oh, please, what?
Oh, beware the hostile fag. When he's sober, he's dangerous. But when he drinks, he's lethal.
Attention must not be paid.
I'm starved, Em. I'm ready for some of your Alice B. Toklas's opium-baked lasagna.
Are you really? Oh, that makes me so pleased. Maybe I'll just serve it before I leave.
You're not leaving.
I'll help.
I better help too. We don't need a nosebleed in the lasagna.
And the sauce is on it. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference anyway.
Nobody's going anywhere.
I am turning on, but you are just turning.
May I kiss the hem of your schmata, Dr. Freud?
You're going to have schmucks tomorrow, you wouldn't believe.
Michael, is there any airspray?
Hairspray? I thought you were supposed to be holding his hand. Not doing his
Airspray,
hair.
not hairspray.
Well, there's a can of floral spray right on top of the john.
Thanks.
I keep my grass in the medicine cabinet, in a Band-Aid box. Somebody told me it's the safest place if the cops arrive. You can always lock yourself in the bathroom and flush it down the john.
Very cagey.
Well, it makes more sense than where I was keeping it, in an oregano jar in the spice rack. I kept forgetting and accidentally turning my hateful mother on with the salad. But I think she liked it, no matter what meal she comes over for, even if it's breakfast. She says, let's have a salad.
You are definitely the type who still moves his lips when he reads, and who sits in a steam room and says things like, hot enough for you?
I never use the steam room when I go to the gym. It's bad after a workout. It flattens you down.
Just after you've been broken your back to blow yourself up like a poisoned dog.
Yeah.
You're right, Harold. Not only can he not talk intelligently about art, he can't even follow on from one sentence to the next.
But he's beautiful. He has unnatural, natural beauty. Not that that means anything.
It doesn't mean everything.
Keep telling yourself that as your hair drops out in handfuls. Not that it's not natural for one's hair to recede. As one reaches seniority.
Faggots are worse than women about their age. They think their lives are over at 30. Physical beauty is not that goddamn important.
Of course not. How could it be? It's only in the eyes of the beholder.
And it's only skin deep, don't forget that.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten that one at all. It's only skin deep and it's transitory too. It's terribly transitory. I mean, how long does it last? 30 or 40 or 50 years at the most, depending on how well you take care of yourself. I'm not counting, of course, that you might die before it runs out anyway. Yes, it's too bad about this poor boy's face. It's tragic. He's absolutely cursed. How can his beauty ever compare with my soul? And although I've never seen my soul, I understand from my mother's rabbi that it's a knockout. I, however, cannot seem to locate it for a gander. And if I could, I'd sell it in a flash for some skin-deep, transitory, meaningless beauty.
Oh, forgive him, Father, for he knows not what he does.
Oh, Michael, you kill me. You don't know what side of the fence you're on. If somebody says something pro-religion, you're against them. And if somebody denies God, you're against them. One might say that you have some problem in that area. You can't live with it, and you can't live without it.
Hot stuff coming through!
Oh, one could murder you with very little effort.
Yeah, you hang on to that great insurance policy called the church.
That's right. I believe in God. And if it turns out that there really isn't one, okay, nothing lost. But if it turns out that there is, I'm covered.
Harriet hypocrite, that's what you are.
Right. I'm one of those truly rotten Catholics who gets drunk, sings all night, and goes to Mass the next morning.
Gilda guilt. It depends on what you think sin is.
Would you just shut up, you goddamn minty mouth, and get back to the goddamn kitchen?
Say anything you want, just don't hit me! Oh.
Well, is it bigger than a breadstick?
He's lying down for a minute.
How does the bathroom smell?
Better.
Before it smelled like somebody puked. Now it smells like somebody puked in a gardenia patch.
And how does the big hero feel?
Oh, lay off, will you?
Dinner is served.
Emery, it looks absolutely fabulous.
I'd make somebody a good wife. What would you like, big boy?
Oh, Alan McCarthy, and don't hold the mayo.
I can't keep up with you two. I thought you were mad at him. Now he's bitching you. What gives?
Never mind.
What is it?
Lasagna.
It looks like spaghetti and meatballs, sort of flattened down.
It's been in the steam room.
It has?
It looks like spaghetti and meatballs, sort of flattened out. Ah, yes, Harold, truly enviable.
No, as opposed to you who know so much about haute cuisine. Raconteur, gourmet, troll.
It's good.
You like it? Eat it.
Oh, stuff your mouth so that you can't say anything.
Turning.
Wine?
No, thank you.
Oh, go on, kiddo. Force yourself. Have a little vin ordinaire to wash down all that depressed pasta.
No, sommelier, connoisseur, pig.
Aren't you going to have any?
No, my lip hurts too much to eat. Anybody going to take a plate up to Alan?
The punching bag is now dissolved into Flo Nightingale.
Hank?
I don't think he'd have any appetite.
Do you like it, Hallie?
I'm having seconds and thirds and maybe even fifths. I'm absolutely desperate to keep the weight up.
You're absolutely paranoid about absolutely everything.
Oh yeah? Why did you not tell me about it?
You starve yourself all day, living on coffee and cottage cheese, so that you can gorge yourself at one meal. Then you feel guilt and moan and groan about how fat you are and how ugly you are, when the truth is, you're no fatter or thinner than you ever are.
Polyparanoia.
Just great, Emery.
Connie casserole, no trouble at all, oh Mary, don't ask.
And this pathological lateness is downright crazy.
Turning.
Standing before a bathroom mirror for hours and hours before you can't walk out on the street, and looking no different after Christ knows how many applications of Christ knows how many ointments and salves and creams and masks.
I've got bad skin, what can I tell you?
Who wouldn't? After they deliberately take a pair of tweezers and deliberately mutilate their pores. No wonder you've got holes in your face after the hack job you've done on yourself year in and year out.
King of the pig people.
Yes, you've got scars on your face, but they're not that bad, and if you leave yourself alone, you wouldn't have any more than you've already awarded yourself.
You'd really like me to compliment you now for being so honest, wouldn't you? For being my best friend who'll tell me what even my best friends won't tell me. You hateful sow.
And the pills. Harold has been gathering, saving, and storing up barbiturates for the last year like a goddamn squirrel. Hundreds of Nevitols, hundreds of Secanols, all in preparation for and anticipation of the long winter of his death. But I tell you right now, Hallie, when the time comes, you'll never have the guts. It's not always like it happens in plays. Not all faggots bump themselves off at the end of the story.
What you say may be true. Time will undoubtedly tell. But in the meantime, you've left out one little detail. The cosmetics and astringents are paid for. The tweezers are paid for. The bathroom is paid for. And the pills are paid for.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Harold. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God.
Blow out your candles, Mary, and make a wish.
Blow out your candles, Laura.
Oh, she's 32 years young.
Oh God.
Now you have to open your gifts.
Where's the card?
Oh, here.
Ah, it's from Larry.
What is it?
Oh, I just love it, Larry.
What is it?
It's the deed to Boardwalk.
Oh, gay pop art.
Sensational. Did you do it?
Yes.
It's super, Larry. It goes up the minute I get home.
I don't get it. You cruise Atlantic City or something. How much did you pay for him?
He was a steal.
I'm not a steal. I cost $20. And what does one do for $20? I do my best.
Oh, what a nifty sweater.
Oh,
Thank you, Hank.
oh you can take him back and get another one if you like.
I think this one is just nifty.
Who wants cake?
Everybody?
None for me.
Oh, Bernard. How divine. Look, everybody. Bejeweled knee pads.
Monogrammed.
Bernard, you're a cat.
Thank you, Michael.
What? Oh. You're welcome.
What is it, Harold?
It's a photograph of him in the silver frame. And there's an inscription engraved and the date.
What's it say?
Just something personal.
Hey, Bernard. What do you say we have a little music to liven things up?
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like dancing.
How about something good and ethnic, Emery? One of your specialties. Like a military toe tap with sparkles.
Oh, I don't do that at birthdays. Only on the 4th of July.
Come on, Michael.
I only lead.
I can follow.
No thanks. I'll sit this one out.
Come on, Tex. You're on.
Oh, uh-oh. Yvonne the Terrible is back.
One dance.
Hello, Alan. Feel better? This is where you came in, isn't it? As they say in the deep south, don't rush off in the heat of the day.
No revolution complete.
You've missed the cake. And you've missed the opening of the gifts. But you're still in luck. You're just in time for a party game. Hey everybody, game time!
Oh, why don't you just let him go, Michael?
Oh, he can go if he wants to, but not before we play a little game.
What's it going to be? Movie star gin?
No, that's too faggy for Alan to play. He wouldn't be any good at it.
And what would you like to play, Michael? The truth game?
Oh, cute, Harry.
Or would you like to play murder? You all remember that one, don't you?
Very, very cute.
As I recall, they're quite similar. The rules are the same in both. You kill somebody.
In affairs of the heart, there are no rules. Isn't that right, Harold?
That's what I always say.
Well, that's the name of the game. The affairs of the heart.
I've never heard of that one.
Of course you've never heard of it. I just made it up, baby doll. Affairs of the Heart is a combination of both the truth game and murder with a new twist.
Oh, I can hardly wait to find out what that is.
Mickey, I'm leaving.
Michael,
Stay where you are.
let him go.
He really doesn't want to. If he did, he'd have left a long time ago, or he wouldn't have come here in the first place.
Mickey, I don't feel well.
My name is Michael. I am called Michael. You must never call anyone called Michael Mickey. Those of us who named Michael get very nervous about it. And if you don't believe it, try it.
I'm sorry, I can't think.
You can think. What you can't do is leave. It's like watching an accident on the highway. You can't look at it, and you can't look away. No. Who's going to play with Alan and me?
I have
Everyone?
no intention.
Nor do I.
Well, not everyone is a participant in life. There are always those who stand on the sidelines and watch.
What's the game?
Simply this. We all have to call on the telephone the one person we truly believe we have loved.
I'm not playing.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, you'd like for me to play, wouldn't you?
You bet I will. I'd like to know who you'd call after all the fancy speeches I've heard lately. Who would you call? Would you call me?
Sounds like there's, how you say, trouble in paradise.
If there isn't, I think you'll be able to stir up some.
And who would you call? Don't think I think for a minute it would be me. Or that one call would do it. You'd have to make several calls. About 3 long distance and God knows how many locals.
I'm glad I don't have to pay the bill.
Quiet.
Don't worry, Michael won't pay the bill either.
No. Here's how it works. If you make the call, you get 1 point. If the person you are calling answers, you get 2 more points. If somebody else answers, you get only 1. If there's no answer at all, you're screwed.
You're screwed if you make the call.
You're a fool if you screw yourself.
When you get the person whom you were calling on the line, if you tell them who you are, you get 2 points. If you tell them that you love them, you get a bonus of 5 more points.
Hateful.
Therefore, you can get as many as 10 points and as few as 1.
You can get as few as none if you know how to work it.
The one with the highest score wins.
Hank, let's get out of here.
Well now, did you hear that?
Just the 2 of you together. The pals, the guys, the buddy buddies, the He-Man.
I think Larry might have something to say about that.
Emery.
Oh, the duenna speaks. So who's playing? Emery? Bernard?
I don't think I want to play.
Why, Bernard, where's your fun-loving spirit?
I don't think this game is fun.
It's absolutely hateful.
Hank, leave with me.
You don't understand, Alan. I can't. You can, but I can't.
Why, Hank? Why can't you?
If he doesn't understand, why don't you explain it to him?
Oh, I'll explain it
I
to you.
had a feeling you might.
Alan, Larry and Hank are lovers. Not just roommates, bedmates. Lovers. No man's still got a roommate when he's over 40 years old. If they're not lovers, they're sisters.
Hank is the one who's over 40.
Well, you're pushing it. Hank?
Yes, Alan. Larry is my lover.
But you're married.
I think you said the wrong thing.
Oh, don't you love that quaint little idea? If a man's married, then he's automatically heterosexual. Alan, Hank swings both ways with a definite preference. Now, who makes the first call? Emery?
You go, Bernard.
I don't want to.
I don't want to either. I don't want to at all.
There are no accidents.
Oh, then may I say, on your way home, I hope you will yourself over an embankment.
Go on. Call up Peter Dalbeck. That's who you'd like to call, isn't it?
Who is Peter Dalbeck?
The boy in Detroit whose family, Bernard's mother, has been a laundress for since he was a little snake charmer.
I worked for them after school, and every summer. I think I've loved him all my life. But he never knew I was alive. Besides, he's straight.
So nothing ever happened between you?
Ooh, they finally made it. In the pool house one night after a drunken swimming party.
With the right wine and the right music, there are damn few that aren't curious.
And afterwards, we went swimming in the nude, in the dark, with only the moon reflecting on the water.
How romantic. And then the next morning, you took him his coffee and Alka-Seltzer on a tray.
It was in the afternoon. I remember, I was worried sick all morning about having to face him. But he pretended like nothing at all happened.
Christ, he must have been so drunk he didn't remember a thing.
Yeah, I was sure relieved.
Odd how that works. And now, for 10 points, get that liar on the phone.
You know the number?
Sure. He's back in Grosse Pointe, living at home. He just got separated from his third wife.
Oh, DA or BY?
What?
That's operator lingo. It means doesn't answer or busy.
He didn't even give it time to find out. Go on, Bernard. Pick up the phone and dial. You'll think of something. You know you want to call him. You know that, don't you? Well, go ahead. Your curiosity's got the best of you now, so go on, call him.
Hateful.
Hello?
1 point.
Who's speaking? Oh, Miss Dalbeck. It's Bernard, Francine's boy.
Son, not boy.
How are you? Good, good. Oh, just fine, thank you. Oh, Miss Delbach, is Peter at home? Oh, I see. Oh, no, it's nothing important. I just wanted to tell him that
I love him. That I've always loved him.
that I was sorry to hear about him and his wife.
No points.
My mother wrote to me. Yes, it is. It really is. Well, would you just tell him I called and said that I was just very sorry to hear, and I hope they can get everything straightened out. Yes. Well, good night. Goodbye.
2 points total. Terrible.
Oh! Are you alright, Bernard?
Why did I call? Why did I do that?
Where was he?
Out on a date.
Come on, Emery. Punch him.
Can I have a number, please? In the Bronx, for a Delbert Bots.
Delbert Bots? How many can there be?
Oh, I wish I hadn't called now.
No, the residence number, please. Thank you. I do wish information would stop calling me man.
Who the hell is Delbert Bots?
Oh, the one person I have always loved. That's who you call, isn't it? Oh.
That's right, Emery Hall.
How could you love somebody with a name like that?
Yes, Emery, how could you love anybody with a name like that? It wouldn't look good on place cards. Isn't that right, Alan?
I admit his name is not so good, but he is absolutely beautiful. Well, at least he was when I was in high school. Of course, I haven't seen him since he was about 7 years older than I even then. So
Christ, you better call him quick before he dies.
I've loved him ever since the first day I laid eyes on him, which was when I was in the 5th grade and he was a senior. Then he went away to college, and by the time he got out, I was in high school and he became a dentist.
A dentist?
Yes, Delbert Botts, DDS, and he opened his office in a bank building.
And you went and had every tooth in your head pulled out, right?
No, I just had my teeth cleaned, that's all.
Oh, I shouldn't have called.
Oh, will you shut up, Bernard, and take your boring sleep-making ex somewhere else? Go.
I remember I looked right into his eyes the whole time, and I kept wanting to bite his fingers.
No, well, it's absolutely mind-boggling.
Phyllis,
It absolutely boggles the mind.
I told him I was having my teeth cleaned for the junior-senior prom, for which I was in charge of the decorations. I told him it was a celestial theme and I was cutting stars out of tin foil and making clouds out of chicken wire and angel's hair. He couldn't be less impressed.
I got angel's hair down my shirt once at Christmas time. Gosh, did it itch.
I told him I was going to burn incense in pots so the white fog would hover over the dance floor and would look like heaven.
And it made these tiny little cuts in the creases of my fingers. Man, did they sting. It would be terrible if you got that stuff in your... I'll be quiet.
He was engaged to this stupid-ass girl named Lorraine, whose mother was a truly see you next Tuesday.
Oh, don't digress.
Well, anyway, whew, I was a wreck. I mean, a total mess. I couldn't eat, sleep, stand up, sit down, nothing. I could hardly cut out silver stars or finish the clouds for the prom. So I called him on the telephone and asked if I could see him alone.
Clearly not the coolest of moves.
He said okay and told me to come by his house. Oh, I was so nervous, my hands were shaking and my voice was unsteady. I couldn't look at him this time. I just stared straight in space and blurted out why I'd come. I told him I wanted him to be my friend. I said that I'd never had a friend who I could talk to and tell everything and trust. I asked him if he would be my friend.
Poor bastard.
What did he say?
He said he would be glad to be my friend, and any time I ever wanted to see him or call him, to just call him and he'd see me. And he shook my trembling wet hand and I left on a cloud.
One of the ones you made yourself.
And the next day I went and bought him a gold-plated cigarette lighter and had his initials monogrammed on it. And wrote a card that said, "From your friend, Emery."
17 years old and already big with the gift.
And then, the night of the prom, I found out.
Found out what?
I heard two girls I knew giggling together. They were standing behind some goddamn corrugated cardboard Greek columns I borrowed from a department store and draped with yards and yards of goddamn cheesecloth. Oh, Mary, it takes a fairy to make something pretty.
Don't digress.
This girl who was telling the story said she'd heard it from her mother, and her mother had heard it from Lorraine's mother. You see, Lorraine and her mother were not beside the point. Obviously, Dell had told Lorraine about my calling and about the gift. Pretty soon, everybody at the dance had heard about it, and they were laughing and making jokes. Everybody knew that I had a crush on Dr. Delbert Botts and that I asked him to be my friend. What they didn't know was that I loved him, and that I would go on loving him years after they'd all forgotten my funny secret.
Well, I, for one, need an insulin injection.
Call him.
Don't, Emery.
Since when are you telling him what to do?
What do I care? I'm pissed. I'll do anything. 3 times.
Don't, please.
I said call him.
Don't. You'll be sorry. Take my word for it.
What have I got to lose?
Your dignity, that's what you gotta lose.
Oh, well, that's a knee slapper. I love your telling him about dignity when you allow him to degrade you constantly by houseboying you to death.
He can do it, Michael. I can do it, but you can't do it.
Isn't that discrimination?
I don't like it from him, and I don't like it from me, but I do it to myself, and I let him do it. Just because he can feel that he's my equal. We both got the short end of the stick, but I got a hell lot more than he did. He knows it. I let him houseboy me, just so that he can tell himself he's not a complete loser.
How very considerate.
It is his defense. You have your defense, Michael, but it is indescribable.
Christ, Michael.
I could do without your goddamn tears all over my goddamn phone, you Nelly coward.
I may be a Nelly, but I am not a coward. Bernard, forgive me. I'm sorry. I won't ever say those things to you again. BY.
It's busy.
Lorraine is probably talking to her mother. Oh yes, Delbert married Lorraine.
I'm sorry, you have to forfeit your turn. We can't wait.
Well, you're not wasting any time.
Who are you calling?
Charlie.
I refuse to forfeit my turn. It's my turn, and I am taking it.
That's the spirit, Emery. Hit that iceberg. Don't miss it, hit it. God damn it, I want to smash up a finale.
Oh God, I'm drunk.
I'm falling down, drunk Nelly Queen.
Well, that's the pot calling the kettle beige.
I am not drunk. You cannot tell me that I am drunk. Donald, I'm not drunk.
I'm drunk.
So am I. I'm a major drunk.
Shut up. Dial.
I'm major drunk on this or any other season. It's ringing. It is no longer BY.
What?
Hello? Who's speaking? Who? Dr. Delbert Bott.
2 points.
Oh, Del, is this really you? Oh, nobody. You don't know me. You wouldn't remember me. I'm just a friend. A falling down, drunken friend. Hello? 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 He hung up.
3 points total. You're winning.
He said I must have the wrong party.
He's right. We have the wrong party. We should be somewhere else.
It's your party, Hallie. Aren't you having a good time?
No, simply fabulous. And what about you? Are you having a good time, Emery? Are you having as good a time as you thought you would?
My turn now.
It's my turn to call Charlie.
No!
Are you going to call
Let
Charlie?
me.
The score's 3-2. Emery's favour.
Don't, Hank. Don't you see? Bernard was right.
I want to. Larry?
Be my eager guest.
Is he going to call Charlie for you?
Charlie is all the people I cheat on Hank with.
With whom I cheat on Hank?
The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker.
Right. I love them all. And what he refuses to understand is that I've got to have them all. I am not the marrying kind, and I never will be.
Gypsy feet.
Who are you calling?
Jealous.
Curious as hell.
And a
little bit jealous too.
Who are you calling?
Did it ever occur to you that Hank might be doing the same thing behind your back that you do behind his?
I wish to Christ he would. It'd make life a hell of a lot easier. Who are you calling?
Whoever it is, they're not sitting on top of the telephone.
Hello?
They must have been in the tub.
86. 1 point.
I'd like to leave a message.
Nodding. 1 point.
Would you say that Hank called? Yes, it is. Oh, good evening. How are you?
Who the hell is that?
Yes, that's right. The message is for my roommate, Larry. Just say that I called and
It's our answering service.
and said, I love you.
5 points. You said it. You get 5 goddamn points for saying it.
Hank, are you crazy?
No, you didn't hear me incorrectly. That's what I said. The message is for Larry, and it's from me, Hank. And it's just as I said. I love you. Thanks.
7 points total, Hank. You're ahead, baby. You're way, way ahead of everybody.
Why? Oh, Hank, why? Why did you do that?
Because I do love him. And I don't care who knows it.
Don't say that.
Why not?
It's the truth. I can't believe you.
I left my wife and family for Larry.
I'm really not interested in hearing about it.
Oh, sure you are. Go ahead, Hank Collar. Tell him all about it.
No, I don't want to hear it. It's disgusting.
Some men do it for other women.
Well, I could understand that. That's normal.
It just doesn't always work out that way, Alan. No matter how you might want it to, God knows nobody ever wanted it more than I did, I really and truly felt that I was in love with my wife when I married her. It wasn't altogether my trying to prove something to myself, or I did love her. And she loved me. There was always that something there.
Always?
Oh, I don't know, I suppose so.
I've known what I was since I was 4 years old.
Everyone's always known it about you, Emery.
I've always known about myself too.
I don't know when it was that I started admitting it to myself. I mean, for so long I either labelled it as something else or denied it completely.
Christ, was I drunk last night?
And then there came a time when I just couldn't lie to myself anymore. I thought about it, but I could never do anything about it. I think the first time was during my wife's last pregnancy. We lived near New Haven in the country. She and the kids still live there. Well, anyway, there was a teachers' meeting up here in New York. She didn't feel up to the trip and I came alone. All day on that train, I just began to think about it and think about it and think about it. I thought of nothing else for the whole journey. Within 15 minutes after I'd arrived, I picked up a guide in the men's room at Grand Central Station. Jesus. I'd never done anything like that in my whole life before. I was scared to death. He turned out to be a nice fellow. I've never seen him again. It's funny. Can't even remember his name anymore. Anyway, after that it got easier.
Practice makes perfect.
And then, some time later, Larry and I met at a party my wife and I had gone to town for.
Ooh, and your real troubles began.
That was 2 years ago.
Why am I always the goddamn villain in the piece? If I'm not thought of as a happy homewrecker, I'm an impossible son of a bitch to live with.
Well, guilt turns to hostility. Isn't that right, Michael?
Those sticky tweezers in your cheek.
I'm fed up to the teeth with everybody feeling so goddamn sorry for poor shut-up-on Hank.
Oh, Larry, everybody knows you're Frida Fickle.
I never made any promises about, and I never intend to. It is my right to lead my sex life without answering to anybody, Hank included. and if those terms are not acceptable, then we must not live together. Numerous relations is a part of the way I am.
You don't have to be gay to be a wanton.
By the way I am, I don't mean being gay. I mean my sexual appetite. And I don't think of myself as a wanton. Emery, you're the most promiscuous person I know.
I am not promiscuous at all.
Not by choice, by design. Why would anybody want to go to bed with a flaming little sissy like you?
Michael.
Who'd make a pass at you? I'll tell you who, nobody. Except maybe some fugitive from the Braille Institute.
Why do you let him talk to you that way?
Physical beauty's not everything.
Oh, thank you, Quasimodo.
What do you think it's like living with the goddamn Gestapo? I can't breathe without getting the 3rd degree.
Larry, it's your turn to call.
I can't take all that let's be faithful and never look at another person again routine. It just doesn't work. If you want to promise that, fine. Then do it and stick to it. But if you have to promise it, as far as I'm concerned, nothing finishes a relationship faster.
Give me Librium, or give me meth.
Yeah, freedom, baby, freedom.
You gotta have it. It can't work any other way. And the ones who swear their undying fidelity are lying. Most of them, anyway. 90% of them. They cheat on each other constantly and lie through their teeth. I'm sorry. I can't be like that. It drives Hank up the wall.
There is that 10%.
The only way it stands a chance is with some sort of understanding.
I've tried to go along with that.
Come on!
I agreed to an agreement.
Your agreement.
What agreement?
A menage.
No, the lover's agreement.
Look, I know a lot of people think it's the answer. They don't consider it cheating, but it's not my style.
Well, I certainly didn't want it.
Then who suggested it?
It was a compromise.
Exactly.
And you agreed?
I didn't agree to anything. You agreed to your own proposal and informed me that I agreed.
I don't understand. What's a menage?
A menage a trois, baby. Two's company, three's a menage.
Ah.
It works for some.
Well, I'm not one for group therapy. I'm sorry. I can't relate to anyone or anything that way. I'm old-fashioned. I like them all. But I like them one at a time.
Did you like Donald as a single-side attraction?
Yes, I did.
So did I, Larry.
Did you tell him?
No.
It was perfectly obvious from the moment you walked in. What was that song and dance about having seen each other, but never having met?
It was true. We saw each other in the baths and we went to bed together. But we never spoke a word and never knew each other's name.
Oh, you have better luck than I do. If I don't get arrested, my trick announces upon departure that he's been exposed to hepatitis. One more shot of gamma globulin and my ass will look like a pair of colanders.
In spring, a young man's fancy turns to a fancy young man.
Oh, Hank, don't look at me like that. You've been playing footsie with the penguin all night. I suppose you'd like the three of us to have a go at it together.
Well, at least it'd be together.
That point eludes me.
What kind of an understanding do you want?
Respect for each other's freedom, with no need to lie or pretend. In my own way, Hank, I love you, but you have to understand that even though I do want to go on living with you, sometimes there may be others. I don't want to flaunt it in your face. If it happens, I know I'll never mention it, but if you ask me, I'll tell you. I don't want to hurt you, but I won't lie to you if you want to know anything about me.
He gets the points.
What?
He said it. He said, I love you, Hank. He gets the bonus.
He didn't call
Oh,
you.
he called him. He just didn't use the telephone.
Then he doesn't get any points.
He gets 5 points.
He didn't use the telephone. He doesn't get a goddamn thing!
It's for you, Hank. Why don't you take it upstairs?
point.
Hello, Hank.
2 points.
This is Larry.
2 more points.
For what it's worth, I love you.
5 points. Bonus.
I'll try.
I will too.
Hey, that's 10 points total.
Larry's the winner!
Well, that wasn't as much fun as I thought it was going to be.
The game isn't over yet. Your turn, Alan. Pick up the phone, Buster.
Michael, don't!
Stay out of this.
You don't have to, Alan, you don't have to.
Emery, I'm sorry for what I did before.
Oh. Forget it.
Oh. Forgive us our trespasses. Christ, now you're both joined at the goddamn hip. You can decorate his home, Emery, and he can get you out of jail the next time you're arrested on a morals charge. Who are you going to call, Alan? Can't remember anyone. Maybe you need a minute to think. Is that it?
I believe this will be the final round.
Michael, aren't you going to call anyone?
Now, how could he? He's never loved anyone.
No matter how you figure, it's tough to be a nigger, but it's tougher to be a Jew.
My God, Michael, you're a charming host.
Well, Michael doesn't have charm, Donald. Michael has counter-charm.
Going somewhere?
Yes. Excuse me.
You're going to miss the end of the game.
With any luck, I won't be back till it's all over.
What do you suppose is going on there? What do you imagine Larry and Hank are doing there?
Whatever they're doing, they're not hurting anyone.
And they're minding their own business.
And you mind yours, Harold. I'm warning you.
Are you now? Are you warning me? Me? I'm Harold. I'm the one person you don't warn. Michael, because you and I are a match. And we tread very softly around each other. Because we both play each other's game too well. Oh, I know this game you're playing. I know it very well. And I play it very well. You play it very well too, but you know what? I'm the only one that's better at it than you are. I can beat you at it. So don't push me. I'm warning you.
You're funny, Harry. A laugh riot. Isn't he funny, Alan? Or as you might say, isn't he amusing? He's an amusing faggot, isn't he? Or as you might say, freak. That's what you called Emery, wasn't it? A freak! A pansy? My, what an antiquated vocabulary you have. I'm surprised you didn't say sodomite or pederast. You'd better let me bring you up to date. Now, it's not so new, but it might be new to you. Have you heard the term closet queen? Do you know what that means? Do you know what it means to be in the closet?
Don't, Michael. It won't help anything to explain what it means.
He already knows. He knows very, very well what closet queen is. Don't you, Alan?
Michael, if you are insinuating that I'm homosexual, I can only say that you are mistaken.
Am I? What about Justin Stewart?
What about Justin Stewart?
You were in love with him. That's what about him. And that is who you're going to call.
Justin and I were very good friends, that is all. Unfortunately, we had a parting of ways and that was the end of the friendship. We've not spoken for years. I most certainly will not call him now.
According to Justin, the friendship was quite passionate.
What do you mean?
I mean that you slept with him in college several times.
That's not true.
Several times. One time at youth. Twice at Hayes. Several times you liked.
It's not true!
Yes, it is, because Justin Stewart is homosexual. He comes to New York on occasion. He calls me. I've taken him to parties. Larry had him once. I've slept with Justin Stewart, and he has told me all about you.
Then he has told you a lie.
You were obsessed with Justin. That's all you talked about. Morning, noon, and night. You started doing it about Hank upstairs tonight. What an attractive fellow he is, and all that transparent crap.
He is an attractive fellow. What's wrong with saying so?
Would you like to join him and Larry right now?
I said he was attractive, that's all.
How many times do you have to say it? How many times do you have to say it about Justin? What a good tennis player he was. What a good dancer he was. What a good body he had. What good taste he had. How bright he was. How amusing he was. How the girls were all mad for him. What close friends you were.
We were very close, very good friends. That's all.
It was obvious. And when you did it around Fran, it was downright embarrassing. Even she must have had her doubts about you.
Justin lied. If he told you that, he lied. It is a lie, a vicious lie. If he'd say anything about me now to get even, he never could get over the fact that I dropped him. But I had to. I had to because he told me about himself. He told me that he wanted to be my lover, and I told him he made me sick. I told him I pitied him.
You ended the friendship, Alan, because you couldn't face the truth. You could go along sleeping with Justin as long as he lied to himself and you lied to yourself. And you both dated girls and labelled yourself men and called yourself just fond friends. But Justin finally had to be honest about the truth, and you couldn't take it. You couldn't take it, and so you destroyed the friendship and your friend along with it.
No!
Justin could never understand what he'd done wrong to make you cut him off. He blamed himself.
No.
He did until he eventually found out who he was and what he was.
No!
But to this day, he still remembers the treatment, the scars he got from you.
No.
Pick up the phone and call Justin. Call him and apologise and tell him what you should have told him many years ago.
No! No! He lied! Not a word of it is true!
Call him! All right then. Oh, darling.
Oh, you're so helpful.
Give it to me. Hello?
1 point.
It's Alan.
2 points.
Yes, it's me.
Is it Justin?
You sound surprised.
I should hope to think so after all this time. 2 more points.
I'm in New York. Yes, I won't explain now. I just called to tell you that
That I love you, goddammit, I love you!
I love you.
You get the goddamn bonus. 10 points total jackpot!
I love you and I beg you to forgive me.
Give me that. Justin, did you hear what that son of a bitch said? Friend. Well, of course I expected it to be you. How are you? Me too, yes, he told me everything. Oh, don't thank me. Please. I'll put him back on.
darling. I'll take the first plane I can get. Yes, I'm sorry too. I love you very much. Thank you, Michael.
Who won?
It was a tie.
Now, it is my turn. And ready or not, Michael. Here goes. You are a sad and pathetic man. You're a homosexual, and you don't want to be. But there's nothing you can do to change it. Not all your prayers to your God, not all the analysis you can buy and all the years you've got left to live. You may very well one day know a heterosexual life if you want it desperately enough. If you pursue it with the fervour with which you annihilate. But you'll always be homosexual as well. Always, Michael. Always. Until the day you die. Oh, friends, thanks for the nifty party. And the super gift. It's just what I needed. And now, thank you. Will you get him home?
Don't worry about her, I'll take care of everything.
Donald, good to see you.
Good night, Harold. See you again sometime.
Yeah, how about a year from Charlotte? Come on, Tex. Let's go to my place. Are you good in bed?
Well, I might show a little affection. It keeps me from feeling like such a whore.
Oh, Michael, thanks for the laughs. I'll call you tomorrow.
Come on, Bernard, time to go home. Oh, Mary, you're a heavy mother.
Why did I call? Why?
Thank you, Michael. Good night, Donald.
Goodbye, Emery.
Why?
It's all right, Bernard. Everything's all right. I'm going to make you some coffee and everything's going to be all right.
Oh no. What did I do? Oh my God. What have I done? Donald! 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 Oh no! It's beginning! The liquor's starting to wear off. The anxiety is beginning. No! I feel it! I feel it! It's gonna happen! Donald! Don't leave me! Please!
Michael,
Please don't leave me!
I've got some Michael.
No pills! Alcohol! I'll die!
I'm going to give you the whole bottle, Michael. Just take one. Just one. It's okay. Shh. I'm here. Not gone anywhere. I'm here.
I'm like Old Man River. Tired of living and tired, scared of dying.
It's okay.
If we could just hate ourselves a little less. That's all. If we could just hate ourselves a little less.
I know. I know.
Who was it that always used to say, you show me a happy homosexual and I'll show you a gay corpse?
I don't know. Who was it who always used to say that?
By the way, I think your analyst is a quack.
Earlier you said he was a prick.
Well, he's a prick quack, or a quack prick, whichever one you prefer.
Harold's right. You'll never change.
Donald, come back to me.
I need you.
Donald, I need you just like Mickey needs Minnie, Mickey needs Donnie.
My name is Donald. I am called Donald. You must never call anyone called Donald Donnie.
What are the chances we could just burn this place?
What time is it?
It's early. Where are you going?
The bedroom's occupado, and I don't want to go to sleep anyway until I try to walk off the booze. If I went to sleep like this, when I wake up, they'd have to put me in a padded cell. Not that that's where I don't belong. And there's a midnight mass at St. Malachi's that all the show people go to. I think I'll walk over there and catch it.
Pray for me.
Will I see you next Saturday?
Unless you have other plans.
No.
Michael,
What?
why do you think that he stayed? Why do you think that he took all of that from you?
There are no accidents. He was begging to get killed. He was dying for someone to let him have it. And he got what he wanted.
I mean, he could have been telling the truth. Justin could have lied. Did he ever tell you why he was crying on the phone? What it was that he had to tell you?
No. It must have been that he'd left Fran. Or maybe it was something else. And he changed his mind.
Maybe so. I wonder why he left her.
As my father said to me when he died in my arms, I don't understand any of it. I never did. Turn out the lights when you leave, won't you?
My name is John Richards. I'm the director of the Pride Festival. When Marie Kennedy came to ask about putting this play on, I asked us to have a Q&A at the end of it because this is a play of which I have a lot of feelings. And so I would like to, we're going to bring some of the cast back, but can you please thank the director and producer of this show, Marie Kennedy. Marie's going to grab some cast for us. If you do need to sneak out for some reason, this is a great time to get up and go. But we're just going to have a chat, probably about 20 minutes, and we'll take a couple of questions from the audience. And again, thank this amazing cast. Now, Mary, I want to start with you. Can you tell me why did you want to do, because when we announced we were doing Pride and actually getting to do it this time, as opposed to last year's COVID festival, which you can all imagine in your heads. So when you came to me, what was it about Boys in the Band? Why did you want to put the show on?
Well, it was very new to me. I know it's very old to a lot of people, being written in 1968, an original movie. New movie on Netflix kind of gave it a bit of profile again. I became very interested in it. I know it can be outdated and obviously it can be very offensive, but I think that any gay stories or LGBTIQA+ stories that can be told are worth telling. I think that the history of the community is very important, and it's important we don't forget that. For something written in that time, I think it's worthwhile that we all acknowledge and understand the fight and the sacrifice.
Yeah, look, this is a massively important play because actually 1968 is the year before the Stonewall riots in New York that we often take modern gay history from. But it is so specifically of a moment. I wanted to ask the cast, how many of you will come into this brand new, and as I think we can give this away, some of these gentlemen are homosexual. As 21st century gays, like what were you, how did this play hit you when you came to it now? Go on, Abe.
I don't know if I have anything to say. I was very new to the play. Marie asked me to be part of it and nagged me and told me that I was playing Donald and there was no choice. And then I watched it and I went, oh, that makes sense. But it's, you know, I really loved it. I really loved the old version and the new version, and I think that, as you say, it is a real marker point in history. And I think it's something that they were talking about in an interview about it, where they were talking about people of the age group of the characters in the play when the Broadway revival came around, that they asked them, they did a survey and asked about whether or not they felt these things in their friendship groups, and they recognised these personages, if they knew these people. And interestingly enough, they actually said no. When they surveyed younger audience members, people probably around my age, Ryan's age, they said yes, and in actual fact they do recognise these people and they are their friends. So it's quite interesting that it's this piece that's a historical piece, but it is timeless also in a way. So yeah, it's, I don't know, there's a lot in it.
Yeah.
I know for me, it definitely resonated with my 20s, living in Melbourne. My group of friends back then, you know, just a bunch of bitchy queens all hanging out on a Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And yeah, it just really reminded me of that. Yeah, and I suppose the idea that they could only have these moments in their houses. You know, Michael's paranoia about the door being open. It's not, it just keeps punctuating the script, but you know, that's a real worry. And even Emery makes jokes about, you know, the raids, but they could have happened now. All of these gentlemen used to go to Fire Island. If you look at the history, there was a really massive case of a whole heap of people being arrested on Fire Island about 2 years prior to when this place set. So it sort of implies that that used to be where they holidayed when it was safe, and now they no longer do. And now they're trapped in these claustrophobic little spaces. Yeah, so I suppose any friendship group, when you're hanging out all the time, you can get to know each other quite well and get to know your bad side as well as your good side.
Well, that's one thing that's always fascinating about this play, is because I can't even quite understand if they do like each other. Like, you know, there's a real degree to, are they just together because they are the only gay men they know? You know, and because they do all seem to hate either each other or themselves or both.
We
I'm
talked
wondering-
about this.
Yeah, so when you were designing the characters, I mean, how did you see your character compared to the others?
We had some interesting discussions because it's all about Harold. The whole play's about Harold.
Oh, here we go. See, my character hates him.
Well, why not? I mean, look. we talked about sort of the dynamic about these three characters, if you like, and this whole sort of this fight between Donald and Harold for Michael, if you like. But we also talked about the fact that really they're all kind of relatively self-hating people, and there is this magnetism or this necessity for everyone to come into a safe space. And let's face it, you know, as people in this type of community, we're all looking for safe spaces. You know, even the fact that a play like this is coming in for Bendigo Pride, which I think is really important. That's the reason why I'm doing it, because it's to give people that are paying a chance to come to a safe space and hear some truths that unfortunately still resonate today. But we sort of were talking about the fact that as nasty and as catty as Harold may appear, or as demure, if you like, as Michael may appear, or as funny as Emery might appear, all of us are going through what Michael's going through. And we go through that self-hatred. We might look at it in the mirror. Michael might be picking on people tonight, but all of these characters have been picked on as they walk down the streets. They pick on themselves, sometimes metaphorically with their cheeks or in the mirror. So these are people that are marginalised. And so there is this safe space tonight, and next week it might have been at Emery's house, and maybe Emery might have had the breakdown, or the following Saturday it might have been at Harold's house, because it's all about Harold, and he might have had the breakdown. But it's this drawing together, this necessity. We are a pack animal, and we need to have a community. And I think that that's what this is. This is a very concentrated occasion of a safe space. And Michael, I think, knows he's going to be a little bit unsafe, which is why he's brought Donald in to stay the night, I suspect, and why he so easily allows Alan to come in. He's having a bit of a turn.
And you feel that's still contemporary? That's still an issue?
It's actually why I myself are doing the play, because I didn't like it, to be honest with you, and Marie begged me. to play. to play Harold, because for some reason she thought that it was the part that I should play. But I didn't like. I didn't know the play. And my first experience with it was watching the most recent movie that's come out, which I did not like at all. However, when I started doing some research, I, like Abe's saying, was a little bit shocked because I turned 32 a very small handful of years ago, and so it didn't resonate as much with me, but I was hearing the responses to the play and hearing that people that are younger than the age of these characters were still feeling that it strongly resonated, and I felt that I had a duty to be a part of this safe space as part of Bendigo Pride. This is a seminal work which I hadn't truly understood until I started researching, and if you look up a history of queer voice and a history of queer cinema and a history of queer stage, this is a pivotal moment in the 20th century, just prior, as you say, to Stonewall. Some say it helped spark the courage for the Stonewall riots, but this play was due to run for 6 weeks, and it ran for 3 years. And the president went. The highest people in the land went, because for the first time, in this case, gay men, or people identifying as gay males, there was a voice, and there was a story, and it was truly shocking and truly groundbreaking. That's why I'm doing it, because I realised it's something important, and it's something important to share with all of you.
I think for me it's not just relevant because of history. I'm a teacher and I work with kids, and that inner hatred is still something that's there. You know, I really relate to Michael,
You know, I'm married, I'm a married gay man, and I still won't hold my partner's hand down the street.
There's a really famous line about, why can't we just be a bit kinder to ourselves? Do you, and to all of you, do you think we are kinder now? Have we moved on? Or do you think this is always going to be an issue? There was an amazing line, I was here with Thrive last week, when I became with Thrive, and Maven Cheney, who mentioned that gay people aren't born into our own culture, which I was really fascinated by. Like any other culture, you are born and your parents will guide you through it. And we have to find it as queer people. So does that mean we're always going to be having to have these journeys, or do you think we are moving on?
I do think it's happening earlier for people, that they're finding themselves. You know, like, I didn't come out until I was 21. And that was sort of the norm for my generation. Jack from Dawson's Creek was the first gay character. So it was quite usual at that. But now I'm, like, for me, I've seen kids coming out at, 12, 13.
I'd forgotten that Harold is only 32. That really threw me.
Yeah.
But it was so obvious, by the way.
In my head, Kate was always back in 45 or something, and the idea of him going, I'm 32, my life is over as a gay man, was kind of quite shocking.
But don't you remember, how presumptuous of me, assuming that you are older than 32, but don't you remember in your 20s, it's like 30 was so old.
Yeah. 40 was dead.
Well, I wouldn't know.
We'll take some questions from the audience as well, but let's just get, because those of you who haven't had a chance to speak yet, I'm just curious to know what was your take when it came to doing the play?
Yeah, Alan obviously is, he's a product of the time. He's brought up in the 50s when this is completely not au fait, it's not out there. And I'd love to hear some of your opinions on where you think Alan sits in the whole community. I've got my reading of it, which is that he's a bisexual man, but his internalised homophobia means that he cannot see that at all. And it was really, really interesting to be able to kind of explore the space that he creates. And as Michael / Harold said,
I'm the real Michael.
Yeah, he's the real Michael. That he completely destroys the safe space that was created by just what he did, and it evaporates like that. So it's a very powerful character for someone who doesn't say much.
Does anyone else want to contribute to the group?
I played the dumb one.
But, does anyone have any questions for the audience? Does anyone want to put a hand up, or is it just nervousness? We've crossed the fourth wall. It's making everyone worry.
I'm going to go up there and pick someone.
You just mentioned that we're seeing, we as a society seeing people are coming out earlier and earlier. What's contributed to that, do you think?
Why are people coming out earlier?
The internet.
The internet?
Internet?
I think seeing more gay representation.
Yeah, I honestly think this play, it really can't be dismissed how important Boys in the Band was. So 1968 is the play, 1970 is the film version. And it's interesting that it's been said by some people that the film version was automatically a period drama because of 1969 Stonewall Riots, which is an interesting argument. I don't know if that's fair. But it's interesting that idea that it wasn't. Yeah, it was a famous film. It was distributed, I think, by a major film studio, which at the time must have been quite astonishing.
It wasn't released in Australia until we had the R rating come in because of indecent and obscene kind of themes and language.
There's all that dancing.
Well, tonight was quite upsetting.
But I think that is true that the representation has, this is one of the first.
I mean, I know it's not high art, but Neighbours has gay characters now. Like, I think the most gay Neighbours ever got was
one of the girls kissed another girl for one episode back in there. You know, like, yeah.
Sorry, can I be completely nerdy? I want to show my nerdy nameless knowledge. I had to write a column about gay characters on television at one point. So Andrew Macca McPherson was the first gay character on Neighbours in 1994. He lasted 8 weeks. He never kissed or touched anyone. He was just this guy, came into the show, and apparently 8 weeks later they wrote him out. So that's, yeah, that's...
Can I ask another question? Well, maybe it's a statement, one or the other. We're talking about representation of all kinds, particularly gayness, these particular relationships. And for me, watching television, movie, films, those relationships are designed to stand out rather than to be normalised.
The queer relationships or the... Look, it is, I think that's true that we still don't get everyday queer relationships so much. It often is the story is based around the queerness.
I think it's getting better.
I think it is getting better. Weirdly enough, we've been watching Supergirl recently, the CW superhero show, and in one of the characters realises she's a lesbian and then gets to have girlfriends, kind of. And it's interesting because they're slightly soapy storylines, but as exactly the same as the other characters get, and that was quite interesting to see. That's aimed at the teen audience, you know, and that's kind of interesting.
You're seeing it more and more where the characters just are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that really appeals to me.
Yeah, so I don't think, I mean, the Boys in the Band wouldn't be written now. It would be written about a different group, I suspect.
Yeah.
And I wonder who that would be if this was a contemporary piece in the queer community. I don't know if the gay men would be the focus of it.
No, you're probably right. Yeah.
Any other questions before we call it a night?
I was asking the cast generally, it is a period piece. A lot of the things that people say and do are not things that modern gay men say and do. So, did any of you, when you look into the characters, did you find you were able to go, oh, I recognise what this is and how it works? Or did you have to try and go, I've got to find out about it?
Let's go. Did you have to research any of the lines in particular? Yeah. So what showed up that you said, I don't know what this is? I know
so much.
You got to say tilt at one point.
Tilt,
which is I think a pinball
reference.
Yeah,
I had to look that up.
86?
86.
Yeah.
86? Yeah.
Anyone else have any lines that showed up here and go, I have no idea what this means?
Yeah. And the big blow out your candles, blow up.
Yeah, what is
Yeah, so that is
I can't remember the name of the movie.
The Glass Menagerie.
Yes.
The Glass Menagerie, the final line of the movie, and I think this is really telling about the plot. He says it, and in the Glass Menagerie, he says it to Laura, and it's to symbolise her giving up on love. So, from that, I think that he was hoping that him and Harold would be together.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not something that I first read in that script until
I'll tell you one thing the cast had to research, I think maybe deeper than anything else, is how to use an old telephone. You have no idea. It was very hard for those of us who've never seen one of those things. We really stumbled with it and tried to work out these But you remember, people were picking up the receiver upside down. They had no idea how to use that thing.
I was shocked to discover I've been using the phrase hot stuff coming through for years thinking it was from The Simpsons, and that was quite a well, I think that's probably all we have time for, but what an amazing opportunity to see this play, to see it in this version, for you to be here and to have this discussion, and once again, please thank the cast.
Heading off to the rifle for a drink if you're going to join us.
Bye.